You see it now. Not at the beginning. Not on your first shift. Not in your first week. At first, everything feels straightforward. You see guests as individuals. Different personalities. Different moods. Different expectations. You respond to each table as it comes. You focus on service, execution, getting things right. And for a while, that is enough. Stay with this stage. Because this is how everyone starts. But over time, something changes. Not suddenly. Not dramatically. Gradually. Quietly. And one day, you realize something has shifted. You no longer see guests the same way. Pause here. Because this is where perspective changes. You begin to notice patterns. Not in isolated interactions. Across many. Across shifts. Across weeks. Across months. You start recognizing behaviors before they fully appear. A tone. A pause. A way of asking for something. A certain kind of silence. And those signals begin to mean something. You are no longer reacting in the moment. You are anticipating what is coming next. This is the shift. You stop seeing each table as completely new. And start seeing structure. Patterns repeat. Not exactly. But closely enough. And that recognition changes how you move. You become more precise. More aware. More selective with your energy. You begin to understand that not every interaction will develop the same way. Some tables will connect. Some will remain distant. Some will require more than they return. And that understanding changes your expectations. Not negatively. Practically. Because in the service industry, consistency matters more than outcome. You still deliver the same level of service. You still maintain tone. You still execute at a high level. But internally, something shifts. You are no longer attaching to every interaction. You are reading. Adjusting. Positioning yourself. I know you are still with me, because this is where experience becomes visible. Not to the guest, but to you. You notice how quickly you identify a table's pace. How easily you match tone. How naturally you avoid friction. Not because you are trying harder. Because you understand more. And with that understanding comes distance. Not detachment. Distance. A small space between what happens and how you respond. That space matters. Because it gives you control. You are still present. Still professional. Still engaged. But no longer reactive in the same way. This is where the job changes. Because early on, everything feels personal. Every interaction. Every tone. Every response. But over time, that changes. You begin to see patterns instead of isolated moments. And patterns are easier to manage than emotions. You stop asking, "Why is this happening?" and start recognizing. This is how this usually goes. That shift reduces friction. It reduces overthinking. It reduces emotional weight. Not because the job becomes easier, because your understanding has changed. You are no longer trying to control the interaction. You are working within it, adapting in real time, with less resistance. Stay with this idea, because this is where consistency stabilizes. This is where professionalism becomes grounded, not dependent on the table, not dependent on the outcome, grounded in your approach. You are the constant. The environment changes. The guests change. The energy changes. But your approach does not. That is the shift. And once it happens, you do not go back. You cannot unsee patterns. You cannot ignore signals. You cannot return to reacting the same way. Because awareness changes everything. It changes how you move, how you think, how you manage your energy, and how you protect it. Because server life is not just about service. It is about interpretation. Understanding what is happening beneath the surface, and responding without being pulled into it. That is what separates experience from repetition. Not how many tables you serve, but how you understand them. If you have worked in the service industry, you have felt this shift. The moment when everything starts to make sense in a different way. The moment when your reactions become quieter, more controlled, more intentional. When did that happen for you? Share your experience below. And if this felt familiar, stay connected. If this perspective adds value to you, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe so we can continue building a space that reflects the real experience of hospitality professionals. This is the server section, and thanks for watching.